Lesson 11-2 Example 1. Our objective is to learn to compare and order integers. So here we have a number line. And this number line shows 0 here, and we have positive integers going up to the right, and we have negative integers going down to the left. Well, like on all number lines, if we were looking just at the positive, you know that as we go up to the right, the numbers get increased, they get bigger. This is true for the entire number line. So if I'm over here and go at -5, as I move to my right and go to -4, -3, as I move closer to 0 and even into the positives, I'm increasing that entire time. So I can think of this whole thing. If I'm going in this direction, my numbers are increasing, getting bigger. And if I'm going the other direction, if I'm going down, if I'm going to the left, I should say, if I'm going this direction, well, as I go down, start in positives, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, I'm getting smaller. But it continues to get smaller as I continue going to the left. -1, -2, -3. As I go this direction, I am decreasing, getting smaller. The numbers are decreasing. And that can get confusing sometimes because we see a 3 and a 2 here, and we need to think that -3, for example, is less than -2 because it's further to the left on our number line. So let's say we're comparing a couple of numbers. Let's say we're going to compare -2 and +2. Remember, when we're comparing numbers, we're either talking about whether they're greater than, less than, or equal to one another. So here we have -2 and +2. Well, I'm going to find these on the number line. Well, here is -2, and here is +2. And -2 is further to the left on the number line than +2. So we would say that -2 is less than +2. Let's take a look at another one. +3 and -5. So I want to find those two. Well, here's +3 and here's -5. Well, +3 is further to the right on the number line, so it's larger than -5, which is to the left on the number line. So we would say that +3 is greater than -5. Let's look at one more with just negative numbers. Let's say we have -1 and we're comparing that to -4. And we might want to we might look at this and think, well, 4 is a larger number than 1, but these negative signs in front tell us something different. So we're going to look over here. We're going to find here's -1, and I'm going to see which way I'm going to go. Am I going to go to the right or to the left? If I go to the right, I'm going to get bigger. If I go to the left, I'm getting smaller. Well, -4 is to the left of -1, so it's actually smaller than -1. So -4 is less than -1, or we could say -1 is greater than -4. Well, we can also use a number line to help us order numbers as well. Put them in order from largest to smallest or from smallest to largest. So let's take a look here on this number line. Let's take a look at -2, 3, and 1. Now let's find those, let's place those on our number line. So -2 is right here, 3 here, and 1 here. Well, remember that the further we go to the left, the smaller the number, and the farther we go to the right, the larger the number. So the one that's farthest to the left is -2. This is our smallest number. The next one would be +1, and then our one furthest to the right would be +3. So our ordering here would be -2, +1, and 3, going from least to greatest. Let's take a look at one more example here. Let's take a look at these numbers. Let's say we have 4, -3, -5, and 2. And we want to put these in order from least to greatest. So we're going to look at these on our number line again. And let's start off with 4. We're going to find positive 4. Here's 0. We're going to go to the left, or go to the right, and here is positive 4. -3 is to the left of 0. -5 is even further left. And then we have a positive 2, which is right here. So if we're going to start here and go this way, remember the farthest to the left is the smallest, and the farthest to the right is the greatest. So our smallest number would be -5. It's farthest away from 0. The next one in our order from least to greatest would be -3. Then positive 2. And finally our largest number there would be positive 4. Solutions for page 600, numbers 1 through 6. Number 1 is asking you to compare -4 and -5. Here's -4 on my number line, and here's -5. -5 is further to the left than -4, so we would say that -4 is greater than -5. -2 and 0, number 2. So here's -2, here is 0. -2 is further to the left on the number line than 0, so we would say that -2 is less than 0. Number 3, -1 and 3. Here's -1, here is 3. -1 is further to the left on the number line, so we would say that -1 is less than 3, than positive 3. Number 4 was asking you to put in order 9, 0, and -2. So 0 would be right here, -2 would be right here, and 9 actually runs off my number line a little ways, but would be further out here someplace around there. And if we were going to put these in order from least to greatest, we would put this -2 is the smallest because it's the furthest to the left on the number line, then 0, and finally the greatest number, the largest one, would be 9. Number 5 asks you to put in order 7, -4, 3, and -5. Again, my number line, I left my number line a little short here, so 7 would be out here a ways, so here's 7. And we also need -4, so here's -4, 3, and -5. Again, if we're going to put this in order from smallest to largest or from least to greatest, the farther we go over to the left, the smaller the number, and the farther we go to the right, the larger the number. So -5 would be the smallest, -4, then positive 3, and finally the largest one would be 7, positive 7. Number 6 asked you to put 8, -6, -1, and 10. So -6 would be about here on this number line. -1 would be about here. 8 and 10 again go off my page a little bit, so 8 would be around here maybe, and then 10 quite a bit further down this direction. Again, ordering from smallest to largest, we would start down here all the way on our left. -6 would be the smallest number, followed by a -1, getting larger, so we go up, positive 8, and finally our largest, positive 10.